we had always talked about doing something like this even for my first year in the league, and they always had confidence in me and my abilities, and now that's just confirmation of that with them giving me this extension, and I know I'm just going to do my best to make it worth it for them, but make me and my friends, my family proud.
And I know we haven't spoken to you since the Pittsburgh game, and obviously you can't redo what happened at the end of that game. Does it bother you at all, Myles, that that's going to kind of hang over you for the rest of your career, regardless of what you do going forward, that's always going to be part of your resume?
I mean, my life is much bigger than one moment. Me, the Browns, and my teammates are going to look past that and go on to greater success, and that'll just be a small bump in the road.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Our next question is going to be from Mary Kay. Mary Kay, I believe if you could unmute on your side, please. Thank you.
Hey, Myles, I saw a quote from you, I think it was on ESPN, where you said you definitely have something to prove, this year after, after what happened last year. So what exactly is it that you feel that you have to prove?
I mean, I feel like with some of the losses we had, I'm talking about with my teammates, some of the guys who are out, including myself, we had the chance to make a run at the playoffs, and I had a chance to solidify myself as top 2 defensive players in the league, and hopefully not be considered number 2. So I have that to prove next year, and we got to show that this talent can come together and win some games, win big games.
Do you feel an even more of a burning desire or a hunger to come back and show something after the events of last season?
Absolutely. Everybody's wondering how I got to where I'm at, with the extension, and how he's doing, and has he been working out, has been slacking, what kind of mindset is he in coming back, and I just want to prove myself and what I've been doing to get ahead of the pack.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Our next question is from Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Myles, congratulations. I wanted to ask you about you're coming back from a season-ending suspension, obviously, that we're talking about, and a lot of people on the outside ask, after something like that, a big dose of adversity, is he going to be the same player? Is he going to still have the passion for the game? And then obviously this contract extension, when you're the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, there's a lot of expectations that come with that. So how do you address those questions? What's your mentality about those aspects? If you're gonna be the same player coming back from suspension, and how you're gonna deal with the pressure that comes with this historic contract?
I don't want to be the same player I was last year. I want to be better, in all aspects. And I mean, even on that trajectory, I was in the Player of the Year conversation, and so I don't want to make it a conversation anymore. This next year, I want to ball out, win that award, but I want to take my team to the playoffs and even higher than that. But it's all based on what we do as a team, and how we can build chemistry with each other. I know it's kind of hard with COVID and getting in the building, so we gotta just work with what we got.
Great. Marla Rittenauer, you're up.
Congratulations, Myles. I know you said this is a small bump in the road, but how do you feel better equipped, like mentally, and to handle, there's going to be, chiding from opponents and fans and that kind of thing. How do you feel like you're better capable of handling that kind of stuff now?
I mean, that's just life. You have one mistake, and people are going to come after you. And mine just happened to be on national TV with millions watching. That's how it be for me. So, me, I'm just going to keep on playing my game. I'm not going to worry about what people say, what they do. Somebody comes at me, walk away, put my hands up, whatever I have to do to nullify the situation. But that, again, it's just a bump in the road, and I know my teammates will have my back to, de-escalate and keep it straight to football.
In the immediate aftermath, did you almost ask yourself, how did this happen? It's such a, it doesn't seem like your personality to snap or whatever you would say you did. Did you find it hard to come to grips with that?
It was a reaction to a situation. Everybody's reaction is different to the stimuli that they're given, and I don't believe anything like that has happened before and it won't happen again. Just have to be ready for that. And now that I've had something like that happen and it went the wrong way, it can only go right for me because now I'm prepared.
Thank you, Marla. We'll go to Scott Petrick.
Hey, Myles. I wanted to follow up on one of the things Nate was asking you. What's your reaction to being the highest paid defender in NFL history?
Now it's time to prove it. They have faith in me, and now I gotta give them a reason to have that faith.
And does the pressure come with that? I mean, we're talking about you past guys like Leo Mack and Aaron Donald. Obviously, they're defensive players of years. Do you feel pressure to live up to that contract?
I already felt I was in their league, and now that they have put that, I won't say burden, but that banner on me that I'm the highest paid, and now I have to assert myself as the top dog. And I feel like I'm confident and ready to do that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Dan Lobby.
Hey, Myles, congratulations. You talk about working to get better. Have we seen the best of Myles Garrett on the field? And if not, what does that look like?
No, I mean, I feel like I can only get better, and we'll see it next year. Can't talk it into existence. Just got to do it. And so, who we have on the D-line, who we required, and the guys we have in the defensive meeting room, I feel like the sky's the limit, not only for me, but for everybody on there.
Thanks.
Zach Jackson, you're up.
Myles, have you been able to have close to a normal off season as far as training with all this stuff not being in the facility, things like that?
Yeah, pretty similar. I was able to get a weight room installed into my house. I have room to run, room to do drills, and work on bags, movement, hands. So I've been doing pretty much everything I would be doing if I were in the building, except for sitting in classroom and meeting with guys personally. So training wise, I've just been able to get ahead because that's really changed for me. I'm just still working, still grinding, still trying to condition myself for whenever the season starts.
Thank you, Zach. We'll go to Jason Lloyd.
Hey, Myles, you know the history here. It's been a tough go. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of reason to stay. But I'm just wondering why it was important to you to commit to a city and a team that has struggled for so long, and if there was any reservations about that.
There's no reservation for me because I kind of like that the history is what it is, because it will only make it so much sweeter when we turn this thing around and actually start winning big games, winning playoff games, and finally get to that last one. So I'd like to be a part of that. I'd like to lead the pack for that. And so wherever we do that, wherever it starts next year or how many years it takes, I want to lead Cleveland to that promised land.
Thank you, Jason. Jake Trotter.
Yeah, Myles, kind of following up off that, were you aware that it had been so long since a first-round pick had signed a second contract in Cleveland? And then what does it mean that you could be the first of several of these guys going forward through 2026, which you're under contract now through?
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah. I said, were you aware it had been so long since a first-round pick in Cleveland had signed a second contract like you just did? And what does it mean to you to be the first of what could be several of those guys that are around your age going through 2026, which you're now under contract through?
I'd only seen that statistic only this morning, so it was a kind of surprise to me. But I feel like it's kind of the turning around of here in Cleveland. I know there's a lot of young talent all over the board with us, so I kind of feel like this is I'm kind of starting this thing off right, and how we can do it, whether it's offense and defense, keeping these guys here with young talent, allowing us to be good for a long time.
Great. Mary Kay, we'll go back to you.
Myles, do you feel in some ways, I mean, you got off to a start last year where you were getting fined and a few things happened early on and then the way that it ended. Do you feel like you have to, try to avoid a dirty player label? How do you show that you're not a dirty player and yet stay as aggressive as you are?
I mean, I really think it's more media than anything that has placed that ban on me, because more often than not, the players that I've played with and the guys I know, that's not who they see. That's not who they've experienced. So they've never thought of me that way. And so I don't think I'll be walking on eggshells when I'm on the field, racking my brain about not trying to be a dirty player, because I've never been that. Landing on the quarterback happens. That's just part of the game. Sometimes you can't turn to the side, but that doesn't mean you're a dirty player. So me, I'm just gonna do my best to play within the rules and play at the best of my ability.
Does that really bother you that you would be portrayed in that light?
I mean, the media's gonna say whatever they want about me. I am what you say I am, but I'm just gonna play the game how I've always played it, and it's not dirty. But however it's seen, I want the respect of my family and friends, and some of my peers. Now I respect those around me who I've grown up with and who I've played with and who have earned my respect. Other than that, whatever is said, that goes by the wayside.
Thank you.
All right, Tom Withers.
Hey, Myles, we're all trying to figure out whether or not there's going to be a training camp or a season. And I know that the league and the union have kind of gone back and forth. What are your concerns, particularly about, obviously, the virus and things like that as we go forward?
I know we've been talking, NFLPA, NFL, we've all collectively been talking, just trying to get safe protocols in place for us to get in the building on time and be able to have a couple preseason games. We'll get it ramped up slowly for people who didn't have as much access to facilities as others who were at home and weren't able to get to some spots where they can work out. So it's just, for us, it's being as efficient and safe as possible. We want to have larger groups into the facility, but we don't want to make it where guys are coming, free agents are coming in, guys who are coming in who come from other cities, other states, coming in one time. We want to make sure that everybody's getting in, but they also have safe place to work, safe place to study, shower, do whoever you need, so that you don't pass it on to your family, your loved ones, people that you go and visit, whoever it is. I'd say it's more for the people around us who aren't as fortunate than us, because I feel like most of us, we're healthy young men. We'll be able to shrug it off, and as we've seen, it's mostly asymptomatic for us. But we don't want to pass that to someone who can affect and really put a hurt on them.
You just mentioned so many layers that there are here. Once you start peeling it back, there's just so many things that can happen. What is your confidence level that you guys are going to be able to have a season?
I think it can be done. I think it'll just have to be treated kind of delicately, and have to take each issue very seriously with each team. I know preseason will definitely be different, knowing as not every team will have the same access as others, and not every team will be able to bring as many players in, because everybody has different side facilities. But it's just about trying to get everybody on a fair and level playing field, so that when we get together, nobody's at a disadvantage.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Scott Petrick.
Hey, Myles, I saw some of the posts on social media after George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. How did you deal with everything that happened over the last couple of months? And were you able to help like you wanted? I know you put out there that you wanted to help pay for funerals and those kinds of things. Were you able to do what you wanted to do?
I did. I did pay for funerals, and it was the reason I reached out on social media to do that is because I wanted to get to the families, and that was the best way to do it. That was the best way I could get to multiple people around a situation who could get to the people who needed it. And so the work is not done. There are still things I'm trying to do here in Cleveland and even back home in the DFW area to improve the situations of the people I've grown up with and people who I know have been affected, even those who I haven't met and can't reach yet. So it's just making it better for the young women and children who are my age and under, who I want to see get out of situations that could turn them to violence or keep this cycle perpetuating.
Do you think the league needs to do more?
I feel like they should have a bigger voice. They have so much access to resources. They should be able to speak up. I believe Cap deserves an apology, and I know it's one thing to stand beside us and behind us I should say stand behind us and supporting our efforts, but they should be standing beside us in what we're doing, seeing as there's a lot of players, big and small, in their stardom, trying to do things for their hometowns, for where they play, and just for areas that they know have been affected. And I feel like they should be, right there beside us, trying to lead the charge.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. We'll go back to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Myles. Scott just touched on a topic I wanted to ask you about. Can you say which families you were able to help out and what the response was?
Which families else? It was honestly, I'd have to look it up. I remember talking to both their families, but it was the chef who was shot outside of his home, and David McAtee. He was shot outside of his home. He was cooking, and there was film going outside, but not really enough of the situation to know what was going on. But he was there with friends and family. He went outside to see what was going on, came back in, and was shot there. And I was very taken aback by something like that. And so I just really wanted to reach out and help where I could. It was kind of about those stories that reached me personally and touched me on a deeper level. So it was David McAtee, and it was a police chief as well. I wanted to reach out to him and pay for his funeral. And so those two, I know I have family who have been in the force. I have friends and family who have been in the force. I have friends and family who've been in the military. So I don't have anything against people who serve or know what they're doing. I just believe there needs to be better regulation on those who are put in that position of authority and who are told to enforce the law, but also protect us as citizens. And David Dorn was a great representation of that for many years, and I wanted to pay that back to his family, pay it forward.
Thank you. Our next one's going to be from Marla Ridnour.
One quick thing on the COVID front. How do you feel about the face mask thing? Have you seen that mock-up? And
I have, and that's not going to do much. You know, you got guys swapping hands, spitting, bleeding, coughing, sweating, you know, all over each other. You know, we're on piles. There's so many times where there's physical contact where you're just exchanging, you know, all kinds of contagions or the ability to spread the virus. There are so many actions and possibilities for that to happen. It's just that face mask, it has good intentions behind it, but it's not going to do it. It's not going to be the trick, and neither is, you know, shutting down jersey swapping. That's not going to be the answer either.
And one more quick thing about the funerals you paid for. Would you like to try to keep in touch with those families down the road?
Absolutely. I know that, you know, this is something that will be part of their family forever, and you know, I just want to make sure that they're good and they're taken care of, and it's not just a one-off thing. I want to see them prosper and their families around them do the same.
I think that the chef you mentioned was in Louisville, but do you know the town where the police chief was?
I do not offhand.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Marla. We'll take two more questions. We'll go to Tony Grossi and then PJ Ziegler. Tony Grossi, you're up.
Hey, Myles, the Browns season pretty much went down the tubes during your suspension. How do you think it would have been different if you hadn't been suspended?
I think the pass rush would have been a little bit better, and I just think the defense would have been better. I think, you know, I make plays all over the field, and I feel like I've just been effective at changing the game plans of some of the offenses that attacked us and kept them from opening too much of their playbook, and that hurts you before you even get on the field. And so once you have to change what you do around one person, you have to respect those other 10 and see what they can do, and those guys are ready to ball.
And one follow-up. Has there been any communication between you and Mason Rudolph or Mike Tomlin?
Has there been any communication between me and Mason Rudolph or Mike Pouncey?
Mike Tomlin, yeah, since the incident.
Or Mike Tomlin. Oh, I said Mike Pouncey, sorry. No, there's been no communication. And, I mean, I have no problem talking to those guys, but there just hasn't. And so until then, I'm just going to keep focused on the season and keep focused on training and getting prepared. I don't have any ill intent towards either of them. And I respect Mike Tomlin as a coach, and you know what he's done in the league has been great for the Steelers, and they've had success for a long time. And I hope Mason Rudolph goes on to have success. I have no problem with him going forward. So, you know, whatever happens. We're able to, you know, to talk and just, you know, deal with things as grown men. That's fine by me. But I'm just, you know, keep my eyes forward and keep focused on the plan and the goal.
All right, thank you, Tony. Our last question's from PJ Ziegler. PJ, go ahead.
Hey, Myles, curious, first off, what would be your first big purchase after this contract that you signed? And second of all, with all these Zoom meetings you guys have had and having a lack of on-field work, where do you feel this defense is at, especially under a new system? And do you feel like those Zoom calls have been effective in terms of getting you guys ready for the 2020 season?
We took advantage of a couple of applications to quiz ourselves and to go over our film and game plans. So I feel like it was almost as good as sitting in the classroom, honestly. Just, you don't get to see your guys and have that personal connection as you would with someone you haven't been on the team with. But, you know, guys who you've already been around, you're not really missing too much. And first big purchase, one for me, it would be a car. And for my family, it'll be a home. I want to give my parents a home in Texas.